in a section he has here, does the devil fear man? He says, the demon keeps his distance from the one who nurtures his faith, who frequents the sacraments, and who wishes to live devoutly. And then he goes on to say, I should also mention that sacred places, in particular those where a strong Marian devotion exists, have a similar effect. So he says that for these, Satan has an invincible aversion to Loretto, Lourdes, and Fatima.
Yeah, I would say that that is true. I'd say that Mary is frequently a part of a lot of exorcisms, and she manifests herself also in those exorcisms. There were a couple of them that were mentioned in a book called The Rite, which was a story about an exorcist here, Father Gary Thomas, in San Jose, I mean here in the United States, and he basically saw, and of course her exorcisms recounted, where Mary was clearly a part of expelling the demons. So yes, there is a particular aversion of the devil, not only to St. Michael, but to the Blessed Mother. I would also say, in the same breath though, with respect to the first comment, sometimes like in the case of Padre Pio, where you really do have a very holy person, Satan himself is going to enjoy basically tormenting this person and keeping him awake and pushing him and trying to tempt him and so forth, so that Satan doesn't, even with Jesus himself, Satan is going to try his very best to go after that person, but generally, yes, they're not constantly harassed. But yes, Satan himself does try to harass people, and he does it in his own crafty ways, but always aiming at the weakness of a very holy person, trying in some sense to bring them down if he can. But the more we say the Rosary, the more we especially receive the Holy Eucharist and Sacrament of Reconciliation, the more that we really attend to our spiritual devotions, the more powerless he becomes. I mean, he's reduced to the status of either having to trick us, or reduced to the status of just pure harassment. And most exorcists, I must tell you, just go, I mean, away. It's not a major crisis. It's just a harassment. But he will try tricks. I mean, he will try to deceive, and he's a very, very good deceiver. And to the novice, of course, he's the best deceiver of all. An experienced exorcist or somebody who's very saintly is not going to be taken in or deceived ultimately. So, I mean, he does his best to do these things, but you're right. The more we stay in line with our real spiritual devotions, the more powerless he becomes. And of course, he loves fear. He would love you to fear him. But if you just simply say that prayer, Lord Jesus, I place my trust in you. Lord Jesus, I place my trust in you. St. Michael the Archangel, please protect me. Mother Mary, please protect me. If you say those prayers, I mean, honestly, he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, if your faith, if you can't be scared, if you calmly say those prayers, if you're not intimidated by him, if you have a true sense of the presence of God with you, honestly, he's just so powerless, and it's kind of pathetic. But, be careful, because, of course, like I said, he is a great deceiver, and that's, he can use that.
And it doesn't mean going out there and challenging and doing battle. It means shooing him away, because I'm assuming, since Satan and the demons are lazy in general, they're going to look for whoever the easiest mark is, and that's the one they're probably going to focus on anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true. I would say, overall, people look for, the demons look for the easiest mark, and of course they will try and throw blocks in the way of people who are going to undermine or defeat their plans. So, like I said, many of the saints, the Curie of Ars, of course, Padre Pio, did have to, kind of deal with these blocks from the devil. But again, they were nothing more than harassment. nothing more than an attempt to deceive. But aside from that, he was so powerless in the lives. In fact, the Curé of Ars didn't even bother anymore. It was just kind of like, away.
Right. Well, do you think some of that is because they would see them as being someone who was a source of support for so many others? And in fact, if they could take that one person down, then that would impact so many other people.
Sure.